For those of you who are certain in where your vote will be cast, I've reserved enough faith that you are confident in your position to make it through until the end of this video. However, for those of you who are still skeptical on whether that fence of uncertainty will shock you, I challenge you to listen to this attentively. September 11th, 2001. I watched as the foundation of our country crumbled into piles of anger and sorrow. Ashes of death and destruction were smeared across the faces of thousands of our first responders, and then buried in 6-foot holes along with the memories of American strength and fortitude. On that same day, I familiarized myself with the fundamental understandings of honor, loyalty, and sacrifice. I picked up on a lesson early in life. Respect few, acknowledge many. These days, respect is distributed as often as welfare checks. It is no longer an earned trait, it is an expected condition. And where we foolishly choose to respect many, we acknowledge the abilities and potential of few, thus leaving our eyes blind, our minds weak, our strength vulnerable, and our arrogance insurmountable. Thousands of men and women picked up on the same lesson when they raised their right hand and swore an oath to protect this country against all of her enemies, both foreign and domestic. Unfortunately, those who hold the future of our independence in their palms failed to adhere to this when they raised theirs. We confine ourselves to our homes, those of us who have such a thing, muzzle deep in our cell phones with the media in the background giving us our opinions, bickering back and forth like the politicians that we rage against. All the while, our enemies are advancing, monetarily, intellectually, and strategically, by leaders whose fundamental understanding of war is not political. It is merely death to us all. And it's that simple. They are not bound by the euphemisms of political warfare. They are not shackled to rules, regulations, or laws of land. They simply exist to destroy, and destroy they have. All while they advance, we digress, because our fundamental understanding of war is political. We are shackled to our rules of war. We wrote them. But we wrote them with the intentions of protecting our country, our military, our families, and our freedoms. And at the head of its table, 44% of you would choose to elect a leader who leads from the back. A woman who executed, by way of negligence, 4 Americans because politics meant more to her than the lives of 4 of our own. A woman who jeopardized national security because political gain meant more to her than her own integrity. A woman who mocked the rape of a young girl by not only defending her rapist, but boastfully accepting praise for her hapless victory on national television. Politics is what defines the life of Hillary Rodham Clinton, and it's politics that is destroying everything good that this country could be. She is not a person who has earned our respect. She is someone who expects it unconditionally. I am tired of living in a country that is founded on politics. I am tired of seeing everything good that our country can be tossed to the side because we're too scared to lift up the veil of change. For every last breath that our fallen have taken, for every sacrifice that was not meant to have been in vain, for every drop of blood, every last prayer spoken, and every child left waiting, it is our obligation to elect a leader who grounds themselves at the front of the line. Someone who would sooner save the lives of 4 Americans than tuck tail and bury their head in fear of political consequence. I want nothing more than for this country to make history, but not by way of manipulation, dishonesty, and treason. History needs to be implemented by a foundation that is built on solid grounds of realisms rather than the cracked surfaces of deceit. And to vote for any individual, man or woman, whose track record of honor and integrity has been called into question countless times is not only a slap in the face to every principle that we hang our hats on, but is also the defining reason why our legacy of heroism will be washed away in the tides of naivety. We are the land of the free because we are the home of the brave. That bravery is not conditioned to those who wear a combat patch. It extends to those of us who see beyond what we know and are willing to take a chance on that which we do not. Such bravery is having enough intestinal fortitude to reach down deep and pull out the cards we have remaining and wagering it on something we have never seen. It wouldn't be bravery if we weren't scared. But that fear does not have to define us. Our courage to plant roots of honor in soil where dishonor is watered does. I will not allow my children to be raised in a world where manipulation and betrayal are traits that you need to write and command the laws of our land. I refuse to allow any individual to set that kind of example. And once you cast a vote for Hillary Rodham Clinton, you'll be sending a message to them that says it is acceptable. I want them growing up girded in respect, honesty, and loyal. Loyal to our principles, loyal to our homeland, and loyal to themselves. I want them to earn respect, not demand it. I want them climbing to heights that we're too afraid to reach. But most importantly, I want them to live in the freedoms we have. I don't want them fighting to gain them back. Weigh your options with an open mind, because once you shut them out, you're closing the door to a life of possibilities that you will never see again. And if you're ever uncertain, walk to your nearest flagpole and stand beneath it. Look upward toward the sky and take note of the way that it moves in the wind. Think back on how many lives have been lost to protect its right to wave so freely on that pole. And then add Ambassador Stevens, Sean Smith, Glenn Doherty, and Tyrone Woods to your vision of pride and liberty. And then ask yourself, is voting for a woman who didn't add them to her field of vision something that I am willing to do? Freedom is not so free. It always comes with a cost. But with this election, we have the power to determine what is written on the price tag. Just keep in mind that she won't be the one paying for it.